Hi there. My name is Dr. Dan Alonzo, and I am a counselor at University Counseling Services. Thank you for joining me today. I wanted to talk with you for a few minutes about how we can take care of ourselves during a very stressful time that I'm sure that we are all experiencing. So if you give me just a second, let me pull up some slides that I think will be helpful for us. Okay. Okay, self-care during stressful times of social change. Indeed, these are very stressful times that we are going through. I mean, let's face it, we haven't gone through anything like this in our lifetimes in a long time. This is truly unique. And it seems that everywhere we look, we see people fighting, arguing, we see signs of anger and discord. It almost seems as if we can't agree about anything. Even about wearing masks, one side vehemently opposed to wearing masks, saying that cuts into their freedom. The other side saying, no, we need to protect ourselves and we need to protect other people. Yes, indeed, the world is changing, and we hope probably so for the better. And yet, even as it's changing for the better, it is stressful. But sometimes all of this stress can really be overwhelming. It's a lot to have to cope with. And sometimes the stress gets to be so much that we feel absolutely exhausted. And then there are even times where we pause and we wonder if we can really rise to the challenge. Can we really keep moving forward with our lives, with our schooling, with our families, with the people that we care about, and also contribute in positive ways to the change that is being called for? And again, we're having to do all of this in a new world that can sometimes seem very, very scary and indeed can be dangerous. So under all this stress, what often happens is that we stop being compassionate with ourselves. We start to talk to ourselves in ways that are not helpful. So have you ever said any of these things to yourself that are listed here on the screen? How can I take a break when there is so much injustice in the world? Well, I have it easy, I shouldn't complain. Other people have it a lot harder. Other people aren't so scared of COVID. Why am I? I don't know if I can keep people in my life who have different political opinions than me. And other people are able to handle all this stress. What's wrong with me? Then I get afraid. I'm afraid to tell people how stressed and anxious I am. They'll think that something's wrong with me. I'm really afraid to let people know how scared I am about COVID. Other people seem to be doing okay with it. I get really scared sometimes. I should be stronger. And then sometimes I feel guilty that, like, if I'm not working hard, then I'm turning my back on important causes. I should be able to handle all this. Notice the use of the word should. I feel like a coward. Lives are at stake. I need to be doing more, not less. And if everybody just sat back, nothing would change. But I'm exhausted. If I stop, though, it's like I'm complicit in a racist system. But telling ourselves any of those things is not helpful because it only stresses us out more. It only makes us feel more guilty. And then the stress has the potential to make us physically sick. We start to have headaches. We start to have backaches. We start to feel, have digestive problems. We start to feel sick to our stomach. We just don't feel well. And then it takes us further away from our true selves. So feeling guilty and being overstressed and getting sick is not helping anyone else. And it's certainly not helping ourselves. So, what would be helpful? You know, what can we do to keep moving forward, even with all the stress and sometimes feelings of overwhelm and fear? Okay, so I think one of the first steps is I do think we have to acknowledge that change is necessary. You know, we're not in denial. All societies have to adapt to new realities. It's just we have to work to make changes so that all people are equal and free and that no one is left behind. Not anymore. We must work to make sure that all people are safe and that all people have access to the care that they need and the support they need. And we have to listen to others, because if we're not really deeply listening to others, we're going to be stuck for a long, long time. So yes, we do have to acknowledge change is necessary and we have to be a part of that change. However, we also have to be compassionate with ourselves. Let's admit it. Let's just say it. This has been an extremely difficult 6 to 7 months. It is really unlike any other time in recent memory or recent American history. In fact, I predict that history is going to record that 2020 was one of the most challenging times in our nation's history. No wonder we feel overwhelmed. And we've been coping with all this in the space of only the first 6 months of this year, only the first 6 months. And there have been three huge events within this short span of time that have affected all of us. One, the impeachment of the president and the growing political polarization. No matter what side you took, no matter what political party you tend to lean toward, even if you're someone who doesn't follow politics very much, definitely this was stressful. People had opinions. People had strong opinions. And it just seemed like our nation was being rent and torn asunder. It seemed like we couldn't even talk to people who had different opinions. That was very stressful. The second event, the advent of COVID-19, the novel coronavirus, which made its appearance in late February and early March, has completely changed our lives. The way we study, the way we go to school, the way we hold down jobs, the way we get together with families, the way we get together with friends. All of this was completely turned upside down. Of course, this was stressful. And the third major stressful event, the very tragic death of George Floyd and the subsequent fight against systemic racism. Now, please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be fighting against systemic racism. In fact, I'm saying just the opposite. We do have to be a part of this movement. However, I think it's also important to acknowledge that these events have been stressful. It's a lot for us to handle. And remember, we're only like a half a year through this. We still have at least one more major stressor coming up this year, and that's the presidential election in November. So buckle our seatbelts. We still have a ways to go before we get through this really incredible year. So what can we do now? What do we need to do now to get to our goals, but still take care of ourselves? So I've come up with 8 self-care reminders that I think that can help us. One, I know it's a cliche, but this is a marathon, not a sprint. We really do have to pace ourselves. We have to cross the finish line because it's not going to do any good to fall down from exhaustion halfway through. You know, we do what we can, but we acknowledge we can't do everything all at once, and we can't do everything by ourselves. Reminder number 2, make a short list of goals for yourself this week. Now, the key to this is keeping the list short. You can always make a list next week, and you can always change the list. But you've got to be realistic. If the list is too long, you're only going to add to your stress. So I would make a list and then maybe prioritize just one or two goals and put them at the top of the list. And let me give you an example. So perhaps goal number one is join a student Zoom meeting on Wednesday to find out how I can be a better ally in the fight against racism. And maybe my second goal is go grocery shopping for my grandma because I don't want her to go shopping. I don't want her to be possibly exposed to COVID. Okay, those are two realistic things that I can do this week. Okay, reminder number 3, remember it's progress, not perfection. I have to tell myself, this is not about me being perfect, trying to do everything myself. This is about me making a meaningful contribution. So I'm going to decide I will speak up and I will not be silent about hurtful or unjust situations. I will be a part of the solution. I'm going to resolve to be one part of a beautiful mosaic that helps make the world a better place. But I don't have to be the entire mosaic. I can't be the entire mosaic. I will be one part of it. Okay, reminder number 4, I'm going to do my best to stay healthy because if I exhaust myself, I'm not helping anybody. And if I exhaust myself, I can't contribute to positive change. I can't take care of others unless I take care of myself first. Because if I exhaust myself, I can't be there for the people in my life who care about me. So I need to eat well, get the best sleep I can, get as much exercise and activity as I can, stay connected to others, talk to those that I care about, take breaks every now and then. And, maybe, in those quieter moments, practice meditation or mindfulness, express gratitude, pray, take some quiet moments to replenish my energy. Reminder number 5, I have to be smart around COVID. I need to move forward. I need to move forward with my life, but I need to be smart because COVID is going to be here. It's going to be here for a while. It's not going away anytime soon. So I need to protect myself. I need to protect others. Do the right thing. I don't want to get lost in a huge political debate about whether to wear a mask or not. And I don't want to get lost in fear where I get paralyzed. I want to move forward with my life. Just do what you can so you don't accidentally pass on the virus to someone that you love and care about. So do the little things to keep you healthy because we need you and we want you here so that you can make a difference. So practice social distancing. Wear a mask. Wash hands frequently. Avoid touching your face. If you have to be in a large crowd or where there are other people in public places, definitely wear a mask. Do those simple things, be smart, and keep moving forward. Reminder number 6, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to smile. We don't have to feel guilty about those things. It's okay to still have fun. It's okay to take a moment and appreciate life. Because if I don't laugh and smile and have fun and appreciate life, then I let the unjust forces in the world win. Because then I let them take away my humanity. And I want all of my humanity. So it's okay to give ourselves laughter and some fun and some smiles because we need that. That's a part of replenishing ourselves too. Reminder number 7, stand up for what you believe, but be kind to other people. I think we have to limit our time on social media because too much time in reading everybody posts can just drive us crazy. I don't think it's helpful to get lost in endless political arguments that go around and around and around. So sometimes with people who just aren't in a place right now to listen and to consider opposite viewpoints. Getting involved in endless arguments with people who aren't ready to listen, I don't know that that's helpful. Listen to other people and try to walk around in their shoes and do your best to understand what other people have been through. So stand up for yourself, but don't lose your compassion. It's one of the most valuable tools you will ever have. And finally, self-care reminder number 8. Do the best that you can in your courses and finish that degree. Yes, I know, believe me, classes on Zoom sometimes get very tiring, but keep pushing through. Keep your eyes on the prize. Having that degree in your hand will help you in ways you cannot even imagine. You have every right to succeed. You deserve it. Make it happen. Because once you have your degree, you will be in an even better position to make a true difference in this world. You will be here to help change the world. So in summary, pulling it all together, yes, we do have to acknowledge we are living in extremely stressful times. We have the ability to make a fair, just, and safe world. And we do need to take action. But we need to additionally be kind to ourselves and others, because what we learn now is going to serve us for the rest of our lives. Self-care. So please call us, University Counseling Services. We are here to help. And there's our number on the screen. And if you are having an urgent need, if you really, really need to talk to someone urgently, call the same general number and press option 3, and you will be connected to a crisis counselor. So thank you. Thank you for listening to this. And remember, move forward, speak up, assert yourself for what you believe in, but take good care of yourself. Thank you for being here.